Imagine a scenario where you're scared for your life during a school shooting. You see your teacher trying to save the day by pulling out their firearm, but yet instead hurt themselves or somebody else. Today, I'm going to talk about how teachers carrying firearms is more harmful than beneficial. I'm certified to talk about this because I've done some hard research and even asked a fellow student member about this. In this speech, I'll be talking about how teachers and our students could get injured because of teachers carrying, how teachers could potentially lose or misplace their firearms and somebody else picking it up, and finally, how students do not even feel comfortable about teachers carrying firearms. First, let's talk about how students and our teachers can hurt themselves. According to the Objective Analyst Effective Solution website, arguments against teachers and school resource officers highlight the evaluated risk of accidents and negligence using of firearms when more adults in schools are armed. The Associated Press reports, for instance, that there were more than 30 instances between 2014 and 2018 that involved a firearm brought to a school by a law enforcement officer or that involved a teacher improperly discharging or losing control of a weapon. I also asked Nicholas Garnica, a fellow student in my speech class, how often do you think teachers and students could get hurt by teachers carrying guns? Nicholas said, very often. If teachers have weapons in schools, there's more probability of getting hurt or injured. By giving us fact and even a student's word, it is a high and terrifying chance that teachers could potentially hurt themselves, another teacher, or a student. Due to human error, there's a chance that teachers could hurt another person or themselves. There's also human error where teachers can misplace or lose their firearm. According to Valerie Strauss of the Washington Post, when a gun is in the classroom, students can get access to it. There have been multiple instances of students and teachers finding misplaced firearms in the bathrooms, locker rooms, even sporting events. This quote shows how it's very easy for teachers to lose or misplace their firearms and somebody else finding it. Also, on the New York Times website, it has an article written by Jack Haley stating that 2 weeks before Elijah was killed, his 5-year-old cousin, Kylis Everhart, was fatally shot after a 3-year-old cousin found a gun under a sofa cushion, showing how easily it is a student in a classroom could easily pick up a teacher's gun, aiming at somebody and pulling the trigger, hurting someone or even killing them. By having the chance of a student potentially finding a firearm is scary. But what is also scary is how students do not even feel safer when teachers are carrying their firearm. As written in a paper by Roy Ellis Fickett, this adaptation of teachers being armed would cause a sense of insecurity of the student's part, according to the American Federation of Teachers President Randy Weingarten. The idea is irresponsible and dangerous, as schools must be safe sanctuaries, not armed fortresses. This quote shows us that students shouldn't feel scared or insecure about teachers carrying guns at their very own school. Instead, they should feel safe and happy at their schools and don't even have to worry about teachers carrying their firearm. As the Department of Criminology and Criminal Justice website says, students were asked, should teachers be allowed to carry guns at school? As seen in Table 1, the vast majority of the 2,645 students who answered these questions, 80% do not support the arming of teachers, and only 20% support the idea of arming teachers. These statistics shows that there's a large majority of students who don't even want or don't even feel comfortable with teachers carrying firearms. With students not feeling any safer than they were before, I want to go over the few main points I talked about in the speech. First was how students and our teachers could possibly get injured by teachers carrying. Second was how teachers could potentially lose or misplace their firearms. and somebody else finding it. And finally, how students do not even feel comfortable or safe with teachers carrying. This information shows that teachers carrying firearms is more harmful than beneficial. So, would you want anyone to get hurt because of the teacher carrying a firearm?